Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Stellaris with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome to the last episode with the Children of Crisis. Today is the last time I'll be able to record the game before the brand new DLC hits in just a few days, and even less time when this video actually gets released, which means the game is going to change quite drastically. There's going to be new DLC for us to explore, and lots of other stuff, so I really want this particular playthrough to be done and over. Well, here's the thing. Right now, we are only a month, in fact, half a month, away from the endgame crisis being able to spawn. It probably won't spawn instantly, but it will spawn very soon after. And just a reminder of what the rules are with our particular crisis-loving cult. It means as soon as the endgame crisis spawns, we must begin warring with every other empire. We are the heralds of the end, and we are here to simply survive the endgame crisis. I want to be the last empire alive when all other empires have been completely devoured. Which, honestly, I don't think we're going to be able to do. I don't think we're in a strong enough position to do this, and I think this may be the very first full playthrough we completely lose. But I'm okay with that. Watching the end will be glorious, and right now we're about to get some dark matter for the first time. We have all the tech from the Awakened Empire, and our ships are about to be heavily upgraded. We are also moving now into more alloy production, so we are getting more stuff anyway. But still. Now, one thing which may save us is when the endgame crisis spawns, we do have a lot of peace treaties with a lot of empires, so it will give us 10 years before we can actually declare war with them. Not everyone, but a lot of them. So only the Awakened Empire and a few empires over here will be instantly at war with us. Then over the course of 10 years, even our friends will turn against us, realizing what's going on. I think that works perfectly well. My speech apparently is already all over the place, so this is going to go well. Also, we have some more worlds, because we need more minerals desperately. So, continue with the game, and I'll be back when something interesting happens. Right now, all of our ships are returning home, because we have a lot of stuff to do. So, originally, the plan was to record just a single episode, but I've ended up splitting this episode into two, purely because there was so much to talk about and so much to do, and I didn't want to rush it. So there will be a second episode, hopefully coming out within the next 24 hours or so after the first one. So with that, let's continue. So now, at any time, the endgame crisis may spawn, because remember, it's 50 years after the endgame begins is when the endgame crisis can occur. We set the endgame to be 2,325, it's now 2,375, and if my math is correct for once, that means the end is nigh. Repent. Oh my god, already! Oh my god, it's the Scourge as well. We're dead. If this spawns in our territory, honestly speaking, completely honest, we do not have the force power to deal with this. We lose. I still think this is the worst I've ever played in Stellaris, but I'm okay with that. It's been fun. It's been an interesting way of playing, and I'm okay with how things have turned out. We have also been at max difficulty with the AI mod, with an earlier endgame and mid-game. But my god, please don't spawn in our territory anywhere else. Preferably, since it'll always be on the edge, somewhere here. Here is kind of where we want it. Anywhere here is bad. Anywhere here is sort of bad. So apparently, we have been worshipping the Scourge. Whoops. We have just now researched dark matter deflectors, and we are about to grab dark matter, which means we can start purchasing it.
Complete.
Well, that's good at least. At least our ships are going to be upgraded. That's one decent thing. Wait, what am I talking about? We're against the Scourge. The Scourge ignore shields. Well, not completely, but most of their weapons do. At least half their weapons ignore shields, and the rest are effective against them. So what we need to do is convert our ships into pure armor. And we need weapons which are good versus armor, or just ignoring armor to go for the hull. So our battleships need neutron launchers. Armor and hull damage. Remember, we will only fight the endgame crisis if it ends up in our territory. It's a regrettable thing for our people, but it's something we need to do. Currently we're using that, which is fine. We'll be upgrading into that as soon as we have some dark matter. Same with you. That's a lot of spare power. We don't have the anti-armor main bow. Since we don't have Cloud Lightning, because all the Cloud Lightnings have been killed before I could research it, really, researching the anti-armor spinal mount might be worth it. Just because we don't have the rest to back it up. Having them all in one kind of thing tends to be better? Question mark? I don't really have time to do the numbers right now, but It would be more interesting anyway. Here's the thing. I'm kind of leaning towards that more just because we always use the arc emitter. It's a good all-round thing. Ignores armor, ignores shields, huzzah. Let's go with anti-armor stuff. It's cooler. Ooh, that reminds me. Corvettes, you're currently using... Wow! Really, really bad weapons there. Okay, you are being swapped over to plasma cannons, I suppose. Or phase disruptors. Again, let's go with the anti-armor stuff. It's more interesting. Why not, eh? Why not? And full armor, because, yeah. Are they better versus armor or hull? I actually don't know. So we're just going to go with armor for now. Our cruisers are going to be converted to try and fight off the swarms which are going to be attacking us. So flak batteries and scout wings. Scout wings will attack enemy missiles and enemy strike craft, I think. I think that still attacks strike craft, right? I know it attacks missiles. We've seen that before plenty of times in videos, so we have proof of that. Maybe it'd be best instead if we just went with, you know, these. Just blast the enemies to oblivion. Or maybe both. Maybe both. So these are the guardians of the battleships. Sure. Quickly grab the old version of the Lance, and now we've got the better version of the Lance, so lots of anti-armor and anti-hull. Again, I don't really know if the numbers favour anti-armor and anti-hull over just armor-ignoring weapons against the Scourge, but they've got to be pretty good, if not better. I mean, really, it's probably just a little bit worse or a little bit better either way, and I never go down this route, so why not? Probably should also look into missiles as well, since they do a lot of anti-armor damage as well. But still, Lances. So the one problem I've just realised is now our ships are terrible versus the Awakened Empire, and that's the one empire which will actually do some damage to us once the crisis occurs. So what I need to do is start making a secondary fleet over here with some secondary ships, which are still anti-Awakened Empire, which means anti-shield, essentially. Because these guys are going to be terrible. The Awakened Empire fleets are really good with their shields, and that's kind of their main thing, if we have a look-see at their ships. As you can see, their shields are almost double their armor or hull points. But they are quite weakened at the same time, and when the Awakened Empire, and when the crisis occurs, they might not be focusing on us all that much, even if we do declare war. So, is it worth having these two types of fleets? Maybe not, if we can get enough of the regular stuff. We have a lot of alloys to spare now. We have refugees entering our empire thinking that we are the correct path, and I think now it's time to call once more to the Shroud. Now what we could do is wait with this. Rather than going instantly into the Shroud now, we could wait until the enemy spawn, because then a lot of the timed bonuses, like bonus fire rate and stuff, would definitely be in effect against the enemy. But at the same time, if we get bonus research or happiness or anything which gives us more resources, we kind of need that now, and then we can also have another go of the Shroud later on. Sure. Please, please give us something good. There we go, increased research speed, perfect. Plus 20% extra research speed, so hopefully we can get some more repeatables done before the enemies arrive. Well, our salvation arrives, but we still need to keep them out of our borders until we've made sure that everything is gone. Our fleets are being built, but I still fear far too slowly.
Complete.
Fantastic. Not quite as perfect as it could have been, but pretty darn good. Okay, so the endgame crisis is going to occur over here. That's only a stone throws away from the Crusaders' territory. And once they're in there, it's kind of the only way they can go. They'll be funneled down here into their territory, and they'll finish off the state. And then once again get back into their territory. Fantastic. As soon as they arrive, though, we've got to start declaring war and breaking friendships. This is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt so much. Oh, yeah, because we're psychic, we can understand them. For a second, then I thought I was playing a hive mind or something. So I should arrive any second, then. Then this whole bit of territory is just doomed. The first wave. There it is. Okay, so with that... actually, even though we're not using much kinetic, that will help out our point defense, so sure. Sure. And contacts, how am I going to do this? Okay, we're still at a truce with you, but the second the truce breaks, we go to war with you. You, I'm afraid, declare rivalry, break commercial pact, research agreement, everything else. Okay, and of course that will cause us to have a truce for quite some time. But they're all going to hate us for doing this, because we're breaking like every single pact we can. Okay, so I've broke off every pact we can. For some reason I can't break this pact because they're not independent, but don't worry, we'll go to war with their overlords fairly soon. We can't go to war with any of those because we have the truce of that. And the only one we can go to war with right this second is the Hive Mind. So right now the Hive Mind is hostile to us, and that's just about
Construction complete.
In the next 10 years, pretty much the whole galaxy and ourselves will be at war. The saviors have come. Everything will end, and then everything shall be reborn in perfection. Now remember, we're not truly going to war with a lot of these enemies with the idea of destroying them ourselves. We're going to war because now we are openly on the side of the crisis. Suddenly our true plans have been revealed. Perhaps we had part in summoning them to here. Perhaps we beckoned them to devour this galaxy. I mean, look how perfectly placed that is. But any nearby empires, I will be taking some space off them, because for instance with these fellows, I really, really want this trade route under our control. So yeah, I really want this whole section. So make claims, that'll make them hate us. Doesn't really matter if they hate us, honestly, we could insult them now, and I'm sure some of you are wondering why I'm not doing that. And that's just because as soon as the 10 years is over, we're declaring war with them anyway, so it really does not matter how they feel about us. It will do nothing to the game. The Scourge takes its first bit of territory and is clearly destroying others.
Construction complete.
Go forth, O beautiful crisis. The second wave has now arrived, which means now there should be a lot of Scourge over there. Lovely. Oh, the true server. Fantastic. Okay, let's check where we want claims. So I really want that gateway. I want that world. And that's pretty much that. I'm also now going to war with quite a few of their minions, but that's fine as well. End threat.
The crusade of the righteous begins.
Lovely. Some of them will eventually arrive over here and attack us. Until then, I think some will attack here as well. Yes, they will. Okay, so we need some ships over there, and we need to just get moving and grab this. Boing, boing. You follow along. And as for you, I think realistically all of you should get over there. It's going to take them a lot longer to get here than to there. Yeah. How strong is their fleet? The fleet sitting there we can see is actually quite weak. So for now, just send in the strongest fleet on its own. The secondary fleet then can just chill here and try to protect this location. As we get more ships, we can send them over. Okay, we're still okay. Honestly, the positioning of the Scourge, clearly, who are on our side, is one of the only things which is making me somewhat confident we might be the last empire alive. Dealing with pirates right now, so don't worry, the energy will bounce back up fairly soon. It's because I've had to move all my trade routes into one mega trade route, which apparently had nowhere near enough protection. Over here, they aren't fighting back yet. Over here, I can't see their fleets. I think after that last fight and the fact there's this over here, maybe they're not focused enough to attack us back, which would be great. Just let us attack you, weaken you. Please, Shroud, be nice. That's not actually that great. We don't have access to the resource needed for these, and we already have the Dark Matter shields. I think these might be a little bit better than the Dark Matter. I can't quite remember if they're a bit better or a bit worse, but either way, we're not going to be using them, so... Thanks, Shroud. Useless as ever. So I've done something dumb. I did not need to make claims. And that's because the enemy over here are an awakened empire. I'm going to war for end threat. So I wasted a couple of claims, is what I'm trying to say. I don't think I can get the resource back if I do this. Nope. Still, we have loads of influence incoming. We don't really need it for much else. It's not a big issue. It's just very annoying. Since we're at war, lots of things have been closed down, and a lot of our trade value is simply not getting back to our main base. We also have lost a load of our commercial pacts, which mean, once again, loads of energy has just vanished. Our energy is absolutely melting away. We're also above the Navy cap and our Starbase cap, and now most of our ships are not currently docked and thus costing more. Yeah. We need to really sort out these problems as soon as possible, because that's a lot of energy. Now, thankfully, we're still making a lot of alloys. Alloys worth a fortune. We can stabilize our economy via those, but then, of course, that means less ships. Less ships equals less defense. We're not in the best position right now. We're really not. And this horrible border as well is so annoying. As soon as we can go to war with these two, it'll be great, because it means we can grab all this, then we can sort out our own trade routes and not have constant piracy problems. We are grabbing all of the planets around here. At this rate, we're going to have a decent bit of conquered space within the Crusaders' territory. I mean, we already do have their old capital, which is very powerful, but they have a lot of planets. That's good for us. They have all of this space here, they're allied with these, all of this space. Looks like the Scourge is spreading, but mostly just destroying. Can there be peace between us? No peace. Must feed. What was that voice? Why was that the voice I did? That's the Scourge's voice. It's a very reasonable voice. Don't quite know why, though. Really should use the fleet manager, but right now I'm just spamming ships here and there. We have successfully threw out the Crusaders from this bit of territory. Lovely. I'm very tempted to send this fleet along with that fleet and start attacking this area more proactively rather than waiting around for them to attack us. But I still haven't seen their main fleets. They are still superior to us with their fleet power. They were briefly equivalent, but right now they are superior, which means somewhere there are fleets which are much more powerful than our fleets. And the only reason why these ships look as strong as they are is because they're getting a bonus by being in our home territory. So as soon as we leave that, we're suddenly very weak. Plus, we are currently at war with the Hive Mind, who do have direct access to us, so I'm going to keep these around here just for a bit of protection. We attack over here, not over there. Once we're at war with these, then of course we'll have to move out to attack. We'll make sure to try and destroy the synergies as soon as possible, because they're the ones with the Federation fleets. Just try to ignore the Republic if we can. Just post one fleet there. Maybe. Okay, incoming the first largest fleet against us, so you two stay together. Where are you going? Oops. Where are you going? Well, I just moved out of the way, so now I can't even see where you're going. I'm assuming attacking this direction because the worlds are closer, so yeah, you two just go and sit there. It's easy right now because you only have one real enemy, but in a second, well, a few years, there's going to be fighting everywhere. Really hoping the Crusaders are trying to fight the Scourge, because if they are, they might lose. Well, they should lose, actually, because we would lose, and we're currently very close in terms of fleet power. Which would explain why I'm just capturing everything here so easily. Here's the thing as well, I don't want to really grab too much space, because I don't want to be fighting the Scourge the entire time. I want to see the later stages of the Scourge. I've never allowed it to get past, I think, 10% of the galaxy. So I think after this, once we go to war again, the only thing I'm going to try and claim is this chunk here, because that just makes my whole empire run so much better. And that's it. After that, defend our borders, continue to reinforce everything, and wait for the Scourge to do the work for us. Even in this time of crisis, in fact, especially in the time of crisis where we must rejoice, we must continue to build temples. Every planet, every district, temples. Well, this is a pretty nice world, and soon it will be ours, hopefully. Psychers versus robots.
Construction complete.
So, that's actually pretty good for them. So, although we had way more power, remember, our warlock companies, the Psychers, well, they're very good versus morale. They break morale, but they don't fight as strong as they otherwise would. A lot of their points are in morale breaking. Yeah, retreat, stop.
The apostates have defeated our invasion.
Essentially what I was meant to say there is, the force count, if you're versus something with morale, is not as high as it seems. I can do words eventually. Ooh, loads of minerals. These new worlds have been fantastic, just loads of the basic stuff, thank you. The Scourge now holds a nice chunk of space. Lovely. And soon, we can go to war with every other empire. Very, very soon indeed. Good. We already declared our rivalry with you. Oh dear. It looks like at some point, the Crusaders have lost almost all of their fleet. Glory to the Scourge. I love that everyone else is still fighting each other as well. Doesn't really matter about us. There we are. Got one of the gateways. Fantastic. Maybe we should open the Hell Gates as well, just for a bit more chaos. So I've decided I'm actually going to split this video into 2 parts, purely because there's already enough footage here to edit down probably to 20 or 30 minutes, and I don't want a 40-minute long final video, because I feel like then everything's going to be rushed, and I'm going to have to skip things to try and make it a bit shorter, and hopefully this is more entertaining. Don't worry, the final episode will be out less than 24 hours, or around about 24 hours, after the first episode is uploaded. Or at least, that's the goal. Who knows, with real life and all that. I really do hope you've enjoyed this video. It's been a lot of fun and a very weird ending. It seems a little bit easier than I expected. However, in the next video, we finally go to war with every single other empire in the game. And then we try to defend ourselves, whilst we watch the Scourge and all of the extra stages unravel. Something I've never seen before. So, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Stellaris is a series you wish to see continued in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye. And ignore the church bells in the background right now. Good timing, church. Good timing.